Welcome to the Investor Impact Power Talks with Vinney Chopra, where investors gather to share their insights and strategies in the world of multifamily, real estate, and beyond. Get ready to be inspired and equipped for your next level of success.
Welcome, Dave. Welcome, Stephen. Welcome, Ankur. I know we will be discussing that wonderful RAL. I know last week a lot of energy was there, and we were able to talk about, right? And I am dressed up a little bit more, as you can tell, because I'll be speaking today over here in the meetup group. Bo Eckstein flew in from Las Vegas, so we are having early dinner with some other Mario and Eric and all, and then we'll be presenting and getting everybody revved up. I would love to make you co-host, brother David, if I can. Let's see, make host or co-host. Now you have the whole powers, right?
You might
There
want
we
to make
go.
me if you're going to drop off, you might want to make me the host.
Host, let me do that. That's a good point. Yeah, I'll see when they want me to join them. Oh, I just made you that. So would it still record on the, it is recording, right?
It records
is
to the
still-
cloud like it always does.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. All right. I know Thanksgiving is coming next week. I want to just mention that. Maybe we should take time off,
Oh, yeah.
be with the family and all. So no session next week. How everybody is and, how the week has gone by. A week just goes by very quickly from Wednesday to Wednesday. Dave, you want to share any good things happening there with you? And
Things are a lot is happening. I'm a little you brought up that 74 unit ALF, and I've reached out to Benny, who's the agent. I've reached out to him by phone and email, and I still have not got the T12 or the rent roll or Encore. Did you reach out to him?
I actually did not reach out to him, but I have to a few others, and I'll share it later. Whatever.
Sure.
To a few other. But yeah, you're right, Dave, because I did reach out to him in the past, and somehow I never got a response back from him.
That's sad. Very
Yeah.
sad.
He's actually pretty
active?
responsive. I think maybe because I don't know. I've had some issues with my email, but I did leave him a voicemail as well. He may be out of town. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I see. Wow.
You-
I see. Hi, Dan. Hi, Danny. How are you, brother? Yeah. There we are. Right there. I just see Danny also there. Daryl. Oh my gosh. Danny. Daryl, brother. Yeah. I'm just thinking about something. I know.
Danny's one of your other coaching clients, and he's tearing it up.
Oh, wow.
Danny and Marissa, aren't they doing really
Danny
well?
and Marissa, they're doing very well, very well. And you know who they were? They were at the Tony Robbins. Oh my gosh. I got the news 15,000 people were there in Texas this past weekend, I heard. And just very good raw, everything and all. Danny and Marissa were there, so I was very proud. And somebody else went from Alchemist Nation is Haidia. Haidia was there. She drove all the way to Texas from Tampa to be there. And she's just changing I was so impressed from 1 year, how she's changed from 1 year to this year. And she's on cloud 9. She's just, hopefully this is going to be a tremendous thing for her. But yeah, no, that's great. We can dig into it if you want, Ankur, brother.
Yeah, why not? So I reached out to a whole bunch of people. I think I sent out a few notes out there in Florida and some in Georgia. I'll give you a little bit of background on Utah. So I have been socializing and networking with some of the folks who have been have good online presence and whatnot. And so one of the chaps I talked to, he has quite a few assisted living facilities in Utah area. So we just happened to chat. From one thing led to the other. Now we have a relationship and everything. And so I told him hey, I found this one in Utah. You tell me if it's good or not, or what's the area like, whatnot, and all those things. Anyway, this is one of them. So I can present it.
Sure.
Interestingly, I got a mix of the properties I found. They were a mix of somewhat the unit is there, the business won't come with it.
Oh, wow.
It's fully, I
Just
mean,
the
ready.
real estate, just the real estate
Just the
part?
real estate is there, but I pinned it around, and I basically, I still continued the discussion with the broker, and I told him, look, only way we're gonna do this, because it's totally not fundable at all. So
Mm-hmm.
if the seller is willing to open to creative, then let's talk more. And so
Mm-hmm.
one thing led to the other, and then he's, oh yeah, you know what? I talked to the seller. He'll be open to creative financing.
Oh,
So
I see.
yeah.
Okay. Huh.
So which means potentially leveraging the seller to buy. But I don't have any idea how to start it from scratch, whether it'll be a brand new business and all that stuff. So that's what it is. That's one of them.
I see. So actually, business has to be, that's the one that's going to make money, right?
Yeah.
That's the cash flow is going to come from that. I think just the real estate piece, of course, how I just maybe David has different thinking. I'm just thinking if we separate the two, of course, you're got the mortgage on the piece of property, but then you're renting it, you're master leasing it. That's how probably it will work. And then the owner of the real estate is going to make some money too in the interim, and the business is going to make more money because they are leasing from them, and which might be a good thing to do. How many units was that?
Yeah,
How
let
many?
me just quickly show you that.
Sure, please. Yep, sure.
So this is the property.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. So
19
this city is like 30 minutes from Utah, Salt Lake City. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So I'll just show you. Got substance abuse and home for adult with. So I think okay, 83. The building is a former 83 private unit licensed assisted living facility. That's the process of being vacated. Yeah. So what
Mm.
is happening is he's taking this out. He's taking the people out and moving them to smaller facilities.
Oh, I see.
So there is some grant by the state given to smaller assisted living facilities or some. This is how I've understood it so far.
Uh-huh,
And so
uh-huh.
he's just taking them out and putting them in there. So it's like an asset sale. The place should be ready to go. There is no problem with the place as such. So the place should be
Mm-hmm.
ready to go as long as you have a licensed business administrator and everything. You can, but you'll have to, I think, incorporate a new thing, and you'll have to, business is just not there. So well capitalized landlord, efficient floor plan, quick access to, I'm just trying to find out where the details were. This is Salt Lake City and Ogden, so not too
I
far.
see. Ogden, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then floor plan.
So he's going to empty the whole building? That is almost like it got constructed.
Yeah,
And in our case, we start filling the applications when we are 70% built. So
yeah,
while we are waiting 3 months or 4 months sometime, we have all these seniors ready to jump back in. Wow.
yeah.
So that
So the
will be a
only,
huge drain on the operational cost, it's called.
yeah,
I want to declare that because it's a marketing cost. You have to get whole staff ready before even one person walks
yeah,
in. So you have to allocate all that extra
yeah.
expenses. Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Totally agree. I think that
I'm
was, so that's why I'm talking to that other chap also who already has operations there. And if nothing else, it might work out for somebody else.
I'm
And
curious.
Mhm.
Why is he?
I just be the deal
Mhm.
finder, right? So the
Yeah.
other thing though is, so this is like the kind of floor plan and everything, right? So let me see. There was something else. There is one more. Let me pull it up.
Hmm.
There is one more. So this
Hmm.
is one item. So I'm,
Hey, Ankar, can I ask a question real quick?
yeah, go ahead.
Why is he
Hmm.
emptying one place to putting a place that he's got all these people in, supposedly making money, to put them in a smaller place? And then why does he not want to fill this place up again? Is it a location problem? Is it the foundation bad? I mean, what's going on? This is a weird play. I got a full location here and I just bought these little locations over here. I'd want to fill those up and keep this cash flow going. So
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Totally. No, that's as far as I know. I think his motive.
I'm just saying, I was going to throw in something. If the business is zero, then it's just the old building sitting there. Then
Yeah.
the whole NOI is not going to work.
Correct.
It's not going to work at all because that
Yeah.
NOI was coming from the tenants, from the residents
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
were in this property. So
Yeah.
it's the replacement cost, maybe very low cost. I don't know
Yeah.
what will be the, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the whole way. That's what I told him. If it could be like maybe like a something like a 100% seller finance with contingency of when to start. We can do that. If it is 100% seller finance and the financing starts whatever contingent on getting people. So
I would
something can
actually,
be.
yeah, Encore. That's 100% of what I was thinking. I would actually say we do 100%. You do 100% seller financing, no payments until we start making
Right.
payments at 25% occupancy, and our payments
Yes,
no
yes.
higher than X percentage of revenue. And then you probably want to put it out to a year. If you can't stabilize the asset in a year, then they're probably not going to be interested. But I agree with Steven. It's funny how they would abandon a facility that is already making money
Yeah.
unless they weren't making money and they moved because it's hard to make money in the big facilities because a lot of people are moving to the shared shared housing type thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Maybe
there
they
is a.
cannot afford high price or some. I don't know where these other
Yeah.
RALs, residential assisted livings, are,
Yeah.
and how close it are. Yep.
So there is a another one actually which might be a little bit more promising. So I'm just gonna open that up. So I will share that really quickly, and then I have to
Sure.
get on in the car.
Yes. No
One second,
worries.
let me show that. Okay, this is a cool one. I'm getting some more information on this. I'm talking to the seller. Okay, so
Yes.
this one is both real estate and the business. Okay,
Hmm.
and the good part is there is also an assumable loan here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's an assumable HUD loan, and
Okay.
I've signed the NDA and everything. So I'm going to be getting those details from them. So the 50 bedroom suite, 187 square feet, right? So looks 1998, two buildings, one in 98, one in 2007, updated in 2015. So looks recent, got parking stalls. So I'll just show you some pictures of what it looks like. And again, not too far from the Salt Lake City International Airport, hospitals close by, whatnot. So this is just the area information. Utah is
Sure. I'll
going pretty
join back
fast right
in. Please keep on going. I think they're calling me. I'll join
now. Okay.
back.
this looks pretty good, Encore.
Yeah, this is, I mean,
Do you know
if
how
you're,
much is
if
on the
we get like
underlying
the
loan?
HUD loan for this will be a good one. There'll still be probably sizable down payment that will have to be done, but maybe something, some kind of a creative financing around like deferred payment or something.
This one's occupied though, right?
Yes, this one is with the business.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So
so what did you say their occupancy was right now? 80 something percent? I thought I heard. Maybe I misunderstood.
no, I think I have asked the broker. Let me check. I think I did ask him for the occupancy percentage. Was he operational? Yes. Yes. Until okay, do you know any background is here? Okay, actually, I stand corrected. Sorry. The facility was largely occupied by Medicaid residents. The state of Utah and Medicaid changed the way the payments were made according to the seller. The payments were not working properly and they got 90 days behind in what they owed him, and he could not make the payroll and decided he would just vacate the building. Yeah, so
So You remember, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. We used to have somebody on the call who was trying to do assisted living
Oh yeah. I know.
and they changed all the rules. And here you are finding 2 in the state of Utah that are operators that have backed out. There's something going on in terms of, it seems, the assisted living market in those states.
Yeah, something
I
has
bet you
to.
there's regulation that's causing a problem.
Yeah. So what
What
I'm
was his
planning
name?
on doing is with these 2, I'm also going to send it to that. I have a contact there in Utah, Brandon, who has this guy has some whatever 4 or 5 assisted living in that state and has some in Colorado. And actually, I'm talking about him on the side. He's thinking about selling his one in Colorado. So I'm
I
looking at
would
that too.
also, Ankar, I would also start looking, if what David said is true, and there's very high probability that it is, there is something funky going on there. What if we just turn that into regular apartment units?
Well, the problem
That
is the
might be a
common
play.
area. You got so
Huh?
much common area there.
Is
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just
Common area
looking,
and the
just trying to
window.
think outside the box and see
Yeah,
if
you
there's a
can
way
turn
that
it
we could
into
make that property work.
You could make it I don't want to call it a drunk house, but
Section 8?
sober living. I'm sorry. I couldn't think of the word.
Sober living, yeah.
Sober living. Those are pretty much money makers, especially if because insurance will pay, and sometimes you can get, depends on the state, but $15,000 to $30,000 a resident. But you don't
Buy
want
that all day long.
to call it a drunk house because you want it to be a sober house is what you want.
Yeah, interestingly, it didn't seem like the guy is fully there, like in terms of like there is, I'm like also reading between the lines, he's got a 90-day, he's 90-day delayed on all of this stuff. I'm also contemplating if the guy is it's just delayed payment, you can also pay down his payment and then get in there and say, hey, I'll continue the business where it is. Like we'll make you current and take over your HUD loan. And then as we make money, we'll keep paying you for whatever it's worth.
If he walked away, this is a perfect opportunity to get that property subject to the mortgage. Literally take over the mortgage, and I wouldn't put any money into it. You might even be able to get him to pay the real estate commission out of his pocket just to get out of it. Because he's probably the loan sponsor. And if he is, but
oh, got it.
Yeah, then
and his mindset right now is one of a defeated mindset from what's going on, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of the reasons why you're getting all of this in it. He's just, holy crap, there's no way out. He isn't able to see the way out. So you're going to have to do a little bit of selling there. But Dave's all over it. You can switch that around, and yeah.
Krishna, that's who it was. Who was in the? I'm sure I have his number. Do you have Krishna's number by chance, Akwar?
I think I do.
Because he really went in a deep dive into this marketplace. And I'm sure I would think it might be good to ask him because he was really going through a struggle. He had bought, I think, 2 properties and then couldn't get him anybody in them. He's really struggling. And it might be.
Oh, he got the other thing, right? Not assisted living. He got into behavioral health.
Yeah, it was behavioral health. Yeah.
That's different though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anywho, they're like, I've also found a lot of ones in your neck of the wood, Dave. So
we got a lot of old people over here in Florida.
Vinney brought up something about 6 months ago. We were looking at businesses and things, and even though Dave's got a good idea, we don't know anything about how to keep people sober and what all the technicalities are in there. Just like when we were talking about getting convenience stores, and Vinny's, hey, you got to check to make sure there's no leak in the propane tanks. And we don't know the questions to ask to make sure that we're getting a good deal. So we might have to do some research on that to make sure that it's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know either, honestly. And whether Krishna could help or not, or has any input. I'm not thinking of him helping. I just wonder if he knows. He was in the Arizona market, though, wasn't he?
Yeah,
or was it
Arizona, 2 units.
Yeah, so Arizona,
or 2 facilities.
The problem was Arizona basically changed the laws on the sober living thing.
So it sounds like Dave said, I think it sounds like there's something that's changed there. Or you just lucked onto two really bad deals for them, but some due diligence is needed here on those.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. This is like very early on. I don't even have the numbers, but they are like this is like one of those in which they are, you have a disappointed, kind of disheartened seller, and there is some sniffing some opportunity here, but I don't know if it'll be good for us or not. But I did find there are a few others also that I'm investigating. There's an Augusta, Georgia one that I found, and I'm getting some more information there, which is both the business and the real estate. And then I found a few I found a few in quite a few in Florida, but I've been getting answers, but I have to just go through all of those. There are some good ones actually in Florida.
Do you live in Florida?
I don't live in Florida.
Are you
No.
saying that you're going to go to Florida and look at the properties?
The way I'm thinking, if it is good enough, and
Yeah, why not?
Encore and I would do a partnership. I'm sure.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I was about to say, don't we know somebody that would go look at those properties for you? You don't
Of
have to go
course.
out there. And,
That's why
Right.
I'm pulling out only Florida. I'm saying Florida ones, yeah. Anything closer, like for me, was like Washington and Oregon. So there's like the land is completely dry right now over there. There are very barely like anything available. But Florida has brought. In fact, I actually talked to a loan officer on last week and asked him his opinion on like the top. We got chatting quite a lot, and he's from that Senior Haven. So he's saying that if your top three, he named like top 3 or 4 were Florida was like in one of those, and Arizona, of course, was there. And then he named like a couple of others. Just go to one of the warm states and you'll be fine. And Georgia was also good. And so that's why I'm checking out few in Georgia also. There are quite a few interesting ones I found in Georgia.
Nice.
But it's like the same story. Not everything is like with the business. So you have to really find out when you ask, then you get some information that it's like.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. So what did you decide? I was on the other call. So this one with the seller financing, would it work?
Yeah.
Or
So seller financing, I think without the business one, the first one, I'm actually going to run it both by that other friend of mine also who's local and running other assisted living. So I have some rapport with him now, like together, like we can,
sure.
I'll get some information and he's not obliged to, even if partnership or not or whatever. And so that is one for the seller financing one. Second one is a property in Utah, which has a HUD loan. It has a assumable loan, but the seller is desperate and he's wanting to get out, and he's trying to vacate it. And I'm thinking of talking to the broker and trying to see if he'll be willing to sell both, and then we'll pay off his 90-day overdue on. Basically, there was a problem with their payment system with the state for the Medicare. So that doesn't seem like a very high end.
Yeah.
Right?
If it's
So they
the
had
vouchers and all, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if that is one option, like if we have that available, then an option to go is continue the business and take over the payments and see how that goes. Start from there and then see how that goes.
So Vinny, do your facility, is a lot of your money, are they self-pay or are they Medicare?
Oh, they are self-pay. Most of them are self-pay. Actually, we put a stipulation, and that's what my partner has had, that business plan, that the seniors have to show 3 to 5 years of where the money is going to come. So if it's 4,000, that's 48,000 times 5 years, sometime even like 200 to 250,000. They have to show it. They call it financial due diligence. And then there is other one, which is health due diligence. So they do a whole survey of that too, if assisted living is where they should be at.
Okay.
So those are the two checkups. I know they used to say 3 months, 3 years. Then I heard a few meetings, they said even sometimes 5 years, 3 years or 5 years of where the money is and so forth. They have to show that. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because see, the thing is, if I may say so, see, seniors in our facility, 7 acres of land, and it's mostly building.
70,000 square foot building, plus the courtyards. So seniors don't stay in their units, not that much. They're always in the sunrooms or library or in the billiard room, or they're in the spa or all that, or dining place, of course. So they have camaraderie between neighbors and all the seniors. So they do a lot of things together, see? So it's hard to bring maybe somebody who grew up in affluency, let's just say that, a little bit affluency, and then bring some other people with the voucher. It may be disorientation or something. I don't know how we feel. So that's why we have kept it that way. Yeah, yeah.
That's good. Then you're not dependent on
State.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're not on federal government to send the money, but at the same time, I think you also end up with a higher caliber of the facility will stay nicer because when people are paying for it out of their pocket, they appreciate it more.
Yeah, they do. And there are, and I'm sure there is a big crusade to really build affordable and all that, which may be 2 story, 4 story. I don't know. Again, I'm just the thing I know about is what we have built so far. And then the RALs also. I've seen some in Arizona, in Scottsdale. Amazing RALs. Oh my gosh. And I met with the builders and the owners also who built that whole RAL specifically for reason of RAL. So they got 2 hallways, they got good kitchen right up front, very nice sitting area, offices in the front, and then very beautifully done. Vaulted ceilings, all those things, right? Crown moldings, all that. And they were opposite to each other. Some gentleman built it for him, and one he built it for his mom. And they are having like they get 15 or 20,000 a month rent for those. And the administrator who owns the business, she's making 15 to 20,000 a month also.
Wow.
She told me, yeah, yeah. So there is a really good money in it if you do it right. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if do you offer any percentage of ownership to your operators, the licensed operators?
No, not at all. Not at all. We were going to do it in Arizona because we felt like our partner, she's very savvy and everything. And she was even happy with very small 2% ownership, 3-4% ownership. We were going to do that and give her salary and everything, plus the ownership, as long as she stays with us. We put a clause there and so on. But I shied away from that conversion. I think I might have mentioned before, more we looked at that comfort suites conversion, and we had not closed it. It just went on and on. Maybe the seller was trying to sell it to somebody else, we think. They dropped the ball for a month, then they came back after 1.5 months, then they were silent. So it worked out in our favor because they wanted $1 million down, non-refundable. That was one of their tricks to lock us
Wow.
in. Yeah,
You,
1 million.
you know how that is, Vinny. That was then. This is now.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
you don't have to
Exactly.
put that kind of money down.
Totally, not at all. And then we did some good search. We brought the architect there and other people there, all that. But once we started looking at what we could do with the space, common space, it was just not our product. Very small place. And then suites also, it's 2 beds in the suite. You have to put a partition inside. It was just, yeah, we just didn't want to go that route. Anyway, but there will be some conversions. I think strip malls, some shopping centers, 1 story buildings could maybe there are some room for conversions there. Yeah. What else is on somebody's mind? Let's see. I think I just saw some text come out. My friends are trying to come here to get together.
So, Vinny,
Uh-huh.
it would be awesome if we can talk about, you're talking about these few assisted living facilities. So there's more coming up and whatnot. But what is the current? I've been researching a little bit on the financing
Uh-huh.
of how these facilities can get financed, and the financing is actually what I'm realizing is not very easy if you going conventional. Wanted to get your opinion on that because I'm talking
Oh,
to the
sure.
financiers, and like
Okay.
pretty much the common theme is if you're going for SBA, or I think there's also like HUD loans available or whatnot. They look
Yeah.
for a big part of that is looking for prior experience or owning prior this. So
True.
how do
So
you
true.
kind of get around that?
I would say you're right. In our case, because my partner that I partnered with, he started 12 years back now, right? Almost 12 years. So he's got track record. I came into him in 2019. So I've been 4 years with him now, right? So I would
Got
say
it.
that definitely there are banks who give it. He's closing on another loan. We might be getting a term sheet next week for Palm Bay, which I'm very excited about. So I think they look for operators, you're right. But COVID hurt us, everybody. COVID hurt all the way around for construction, especially brand new constructions and all. But if you're taking already stabilized assisted living, there are lots of people who will give you
Yeah.
loan, brother. Yeah. And you could even bring a
Mm,
third party because you don't have the experience. You can pay
mm,
somebody 3.5% or whatever they charge, and that's how they charge. And they will come in and their track record will qualify with you, just like in the apartments too, same way. New people, they could say I can bring the equity and loan and all, but experience of multifamily, running a multifamily, the bank looks for a savvy operator that
mhm.
who can manage the deal, right? So very similarly, you could buy already established senior living with a property management company or senior living management company as your partner or as your employee. You sign a contract with them, and that way you'll be able to qualify for the loan. Yeah, yeah. But HUD loans are longer,
So
long-term loans. They take long. I know a lot of people I've talked to in the last 4 or 5 years. They say we would love to get you a HUD loan if you take a bridge loan with us or something. They told me, they said, Vinny, so we'll start the application right away because it takes about 9 months to a year to get that, and we'll give you hard money now with the option to get into HUD loan.
that's
And
amazing.
they
The, the
you
guy was telling me, oh, sorry. So the loan guy was telling me that he's saying like getting a HUD loan. I got attracted because the terms are of it were like felt it, and it's like there is
I
higher
see.
chances of refinancing into it rather than,
Hmm.
and that too they check your track record for 2 to 3 years or whatnot. So
They do, they do. I was told something else too, like syndicator like me, that I cannot pay. I think they only let you pay investors every 6 months or something. Somebody told me. I said, what? Really? So they stipulate they want to control and make sure that you're running the property right and all that. Housing, urban development loan, HUD loan. But HUD loans are amazing. They have 45-year amortized payments, some of them are. And then that reduces the payment, no interest only payments and things like that. But they take a little bit longer. But I think people do. I have not gotten a single HUD loan in 16 years, just to put that on the line.
yeah,
I just feel like I don't have patience, and nobody has patience to get it for 9 months, and then you
yeah.
find out whether you got it or not. Yeah, yeah.
So, Vinny, is
Mhm.
it fair to say then? I think an important factor then while looking deals is also to get to know these operators because you will need an operator. I think not, yeah, folks are not experienced in assisted living, right? So, you'll have to look for an
Totally.
experienced operator, right? That's true.
Totally, 100%. And there are I should say dime a dozen, but there are quite a few good ones in
Mm,
every market because so much is out there, right? But
mm,
you're right. I think it's good to talk to, just like I say, even for multifamily, go talk to the property managers or management companies of the multifamily. Similarly, it will be terrific, whichever zip code, whichever city you're going to, look for RAL or multi senior living, talk
Mm.
to Google and say senior living management or
Yeah.
assisted senior living management. So many will Google will pick it up right on the top, and then you start building relationship with them. Guess what? Very similar like multifamily. They would know who is in trouble, who is not, who is dying, who had a death in the family, everything.
Mm.
So you might
Mm.
even get some leads or some
Yeah.
properties from those people. And in Florida, I will know. I was thinking to fire our, and she's not going to see this one here, but she resigned herself on the third day. I mentioned that many times before. And the key thing is, what happened was that this gentleman and very good operator, he came all the way from Tampa, 3 hours or two
Mm.
hours, and next day he was able to shop both of my facilities in Punta Gorda and Cape Coral and talk to Monica and I on the way back. And then he wanted his
Mm.
boss to meet with me. They're always looking for more business and more business, but they were very cordial, and it was 3.5%. That's it, 3% even, because the rents are high. See, the rents are like you're talking about 3 times the rents per month. So even 3% as compared to multifamily, it's 12% they're getting now. So it's a very
Mm.
good money they make in RALs and in multi-assisted living. Yeah, yeah.
You mean for somebody to manage a multifamily is now 12%? Is that what you said, Vinny?
What I said, David, was like, for example, we give 3.5 on certain amount of rents per month, right? Because this percentage is on the total money collected.
Okay.
Okay. And we give them 3.5 all the day, right? Now we are giving 3.5 to the senior assisted living and RALs operators, but the
Okay.
rent is 3 times
I got you.
or 4 times. So wait a minute. They get the same percentage, but their paycheck is pretty big for the month. It's 4 times. That's where it is all about. And they do work hard. Not that they don't work hard. They have personnel, they got service people, they got nurses. They can fill in every void that you have.
Yeah.
Monica and I have been managing 4 years. It's not been that easy. We just sometimes we are sitting so far away in California, and our partner is so busy building them. He neglected them, he left it to us, and we don't know much about blah blah. But then the property suffers, and there are 38 people per 100, and per 88 to 94 I build about 38 to 42 personnel every payday, which is every 2 weeks. So it's a very heavy, intensive caregiving, nurse, director of exercise. We got chef, we got deputy chef, then we got business person, we got leasing person. Look at that. All these people are in the admin, in the administration. There are like 7 people in the administration alone. And then we have the caregivers, which are hourly, of course, but then still you have to pay them a little bit more than others. Otherwise, you lose them. So $15 an hour, where we are in Florida, we're paying 15.5 kind of thing.
That's all for this episode of the Investor Impact. Stay tuned for the next episode and don't miss out on the opportunity to learn and grow alongside this powerful inner circle.